There was a time where the Coreys were on top of the world, box office gold. Corey Feldman and Corey Haim, known as the Coreys, seemed untouchable. But behind the fame, behind the laughter and success was the darker truth. One they tried to expose, one we chose to ignore. While Hollywood painted them as party boys, troubled childhood stars that couldn't find work in movies and TV shows anymore, and eventually every media outlet labeling them as has-beens, the truth is these two young actors were victims of an industry that groomed them, extorted them, and then cast them aside. Warning, this isn't just a rad video about how rad their movies were. This is the darker side of the truth. Let's get into it.
You guys got fat while everybody starved on the street. It's my turn. You come with me. I'm at the Plaza Hotel. You're welcome. You're all welcome!
Chapter 1. The Rise of the Coreys. Starting in the 1980s, the Coreys were everywhere. I was kind of jealous about them as a teenager. They were all over girls' walls. From Spielberg sets to teen magazine covers, movies such as Fast Getaway, The Goonies, Stand By Me, The Lost Boys, and way too many more to even mention, they were the faces of a generation. But behind the fame were childhoods lost to the industry that protected predators more than its young talent.
I can tell you that the number one problem in Hollywood was and is and always will be pedophilia. That's the biggest problem for children in this industry.
Chapter 2. The Warning We Ignored. Corey Feldman began speaking out publicly in the early 1990s. But every time he tried to lift the veil, he was mocked, dismissed, and branded as unstable, attention-seeking, and, worst of all, crazy. The media, instead of listening behind the scenes, they ridiculed him and made fun of him all the time. Talk show hosts turned his pain into punchlines, but Feldman never really stopped talking, trying to expose the industry for what it is. And while most of us laughed, unfortunately, what he was saying, well, it was really the truth. Chapter 3. Corey Haim's Struggles and Tragic End. While Corey Feldman spoke out, Corey Haim struggled quietly. The trauma he endured as a childhood star never left him. It followed him into adulthood. You can see it in every interview, in every attempt at a comeback. It was like the industry was just shutting him down, not really giving him the chance to make a phenomenal, triumphant comeback. But those years of silence that he chose not to speak about turned into addiction. His once bright future faded under the weight of unspoken pain, and on March 10th, 2010, the world lost Corey Haim. At just 38 years old, Corey died from pneumonia, a natural illness that his body, already weakened by years of drug abuse and emotional trauma, just couldn't fight off. Contrary to early rumors, it wasn't an overdose like the media stated, but it really didn't make the loss any less tragic or sad. Feldman has also stated that Corey Haim was never able to fully speak his truth, and the people who hurt him, they're still protected, still working, and still work in silence. Haim's death wasn't just the end of a life, it was the end of a voice we never really truly heard. A reminder that when we ignore victims, we don't just fail them, we bury them.
All the stuff I've ingested in my body, all the crazy nights I've had with my friends driving me to the hospital if I'm overdosing. Am I overdosing?
Chapter 4. Media Gaslighting and Hollywood Protection. The sad truth is, it's really only now, after the Harvey Weinstein thing, after the Epstein thing, and with all these allegations and Diddy still being on trial, that we now listen to some of these quote-unquote crazy celebrities that we once labeled as attention seekers. Hollywood is not just a dream factory that tends to build childhood stars, actors, and actresses. It's really a machine, one that protects itself at all costs, just passing the blame and the buck on to the next one. And when young actors try to break the silence, it's spun onto them as they are the problem, leaving them down the road with deep depression, public outbursts, and painting them in a light that we dismiss whatever they're saying. And that is the sad truth about the whole situation. Chapter 5. The Reckoning is Here. We're watching the industry finally face the consequences of decades of silence. But justice, it moves slowly. The men who Corey Feldman accused of abusing him, many are still walking free, still working to this day, and are still heavily connected in the Hollywood movie world.
Message!
And I remember this quote that Corey Feldman said a long time ago. If people would have listened to me 20 years ago, think about how many kids we could have saved today. Chapter 6. My final thoughts. Maybe it's time to stop laughing at the warnings we once dismissed. Headlines in the media always made Feldman out to be paranoid. Now, those same quotes read as a prophecy. And Corey Helms, he didn't survive long enough to see the tides turn, but his pain and his silence spoke volumes. Sometimes we dismiss actors and actresses as crazy attention seekers, and I will admit, not every single allegation is going to be true. Some are just out for the money grab, and not every single allegation is going to be brought to light. But at the end of the day, the signs are there. Clear abuse of drugs, depression, and celebrities, well, they are people too. They go through the same things that we do, just in a different way. Everyone struggles with their inner demons in one way or another. Now, looking back at older interviews, I can now say the Coreys, they weren't just warning us, they were crying out for help, and we chose to make fun of them and not listen. So what do y'all think? I really hope y'all made it this far, and if you did, hit that like, share, and subscribe. When I was putting together this script and going through old interviews, I was really saying to myself, damn, he was really reaching. Now, some things, they could simply be made up, but other things, I can really feel like I see the determination in his eyes to expose these people, and it's crazy. But what do y'all think? Do y'all still look at Corey Feldman as crazy, or does he really have a point? And especially now with everything coming into light about the industry, both on movie and music side, we've heard it way throughout the years, dating back, the earliest I've ever heard was dating back to The Wizard of Oz, where they were abusing the lead actress and the Tin Man was catching all sorts of health issues due to makeup. Hollywood has always gone through some kind of torture. So I'm just curious to see what y'all think. Again, much love. I'll be doing more of these deep dives, but I really thought that this was the time to really put this video out, put it all together, and I hope y'all liked it. Anyways, much love. I will see you on the next one. Peace.
Thank you. You love me.